Greatest rugby team of all time debate. 2015 All Blacks versus the 2023 Springboks. Both teams off the back of back-to-back Rugby World Cup titles. Massive arguments to be made for both sides. The Dan Carters, the Ma'a Nonus, the Richie McCaws, the Stephen Kitshoffs, the Pieter-Steph du Toits, the Cheslin Colbys. Oh, and today I'll be seeing my starting 15 out of these two absolutely stacked sides. Or I don't think we can ever settle the debate on who the best team is because of it's different era, different rules, different opposition, different players. But we do love to compare in all sports, the Messi versus Ronaldo, the Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes, the Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson. Different eras, we love to compare, and I'm all for it. As always, this is a discussion. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm going to be picking my starting 15 out of those two squads. Let me know what changes you would make. Yes, I did see this off another podcast rugby podcast that I listened to, but they added the 2003 England side into that as well. So picking a 15 out of those three sides, I'm just going to pick 15 out of the All Blacks 2015 side and the Springboks 2023 side. All Blacks, Springboks. Holy, I don't know if you can even do that. Let me know in the comments what changes you would make. Who would you bring in? Who wouldn't you? Who would be your captain? You know what I'm getting at. Hit that subscribe while you're there. Let's get into it. So start off with, we'll read both teams and then we'll get into the position. So the All Blacks 2015 Rugby World Cup final starting 15. Joe Moody, Dane Coles and Owen Franks up front. Then Brodie Retallick and Sam Whitelock in the locks. Jerome Kaino, Richie McCaw and Kieran Reid. Richie McCaw, obviously captain. Then Aaron Smith and Dan Carter. Centres of Ma'a Nonu and Conrad Smith. And back three of Julian Savea, Nehe Milner-Skudder and Ben Smith. Impact of Kevin Melamu, Ben Franks, Charlie Faumolina, Victor Vito, Sam Kane, Tewara Kerbalo, Bowden Barrett and Sonny Bill Williams. Then the Springboks side of the 2023 Rugby World Cup final. Stephen Kitshoff, Bongion Benambi, Frans Malherbe up front. Then Eben Etzebeth and Franco Mostert in the locks. Siya Kolisi, Pieter-Steph du Toits and Dwayne Vermeulen back row. Siya Kolisi obviously captain. Then Faf de Klerk and Andre Pollard. Damien de Allende and Jesse Creel centres. Then back three of Cheslin Colby, Kurtley Arendse and Damien Willemse. Bench of Dion Fourie, Oxenchair, Trevor Nyakane, John Klein, RG Snyman, Kwagga Smith, Jasper Wiese, and Willie Leroux. Man, that's two absolutely stacked sides. How can you pick a 15 out of that? We're going to try our best. Here we go. So front row of, I've gone with Stephen Kitshoff, Dane Coles, and Frans Malherbe. So I've gone with Stephen Kitshoff and Frans Malherbe off the pure basis of what a front row is there to do, and that is scrum. Is win you scrums, scrum, and those guys epitomize what it means to scrum and how to go about scrumming. I've said scrum 1,000 times. They're my guys for the scrumming. Dane Coles was just in another level, I feel like, or on another level in that 2015 World Cup. He was, and just that whole year, fantastic ball in hand, carrying down the edges, also kind of started to change that whole outlook on how a hooker should play. Dane Coles was in that time. So that's my front row. My locks. Man, so I've gone with Eben Etzebeth and Sam Whitelock. Eben Etzebeth, your enforcer, most capped Springbok ever. Just, man, if you're picking a side and he's available, you're picking him. what he can do. Yes, not only in the lineouts, what a lock is supposed to do, but just around the park as well, carrying the ball, strong defensively, physically just, man, opposition must look at the team sheet, and if his name's there, just be like, why I gotta do this? And then Sam Whitelock was just probably one of, I would say, one of the best locks, hear me out, one of the best locks to ever play rugby in general. His ability to keep going and to play at a certain level just all the time. He's at 80% plus, or 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 every single game. And that wasn't only for the All Blacks. That was for Crusaders as well. I don't think he ever had a bad game, Sam Whitelock. And he was fantastic in the lineouts. His leadership he obviously brought to that All Black side, just around the park as well. One of the best locks to ever play the sport. Then my back row, I've gone with Richie McCaw, Peter Steph du Toit, and Kieran Reid. This was a tough one. I've gone with Richie McCaw and my captain as well. There's no debate. He's, for me, been the GOAT flank. I don't care what anyone says. There's not even a debate. I'm sorry. There's no debate. Richie McCaw, one of the best to ever do it, to ever play this game that we love so much called rugby. Peter Steph du Toit, generational talent as well. I feel like almost up there with McCaw in the sense of how he approaches the game, how he just tough as absolute nails and just can go. Peter Steph du Toit. Then Kieran Reid, this was probably my toughest one because there's a very good argument for Dwayne Vermeulen as well. I just think the versatility Kieran Reid had, like he's got that physical, he's got the physical side to it, but he's got good skills as well. I think he'd be a little bit more mobile and fitter around the park than Dwayne Vermeulen, so he gets the nod there. My 9 and 10, and I've gone with the combination of Aaron Smith, Dan Carter. Do I need to explain myself here? Again, two of the best to ever play it in those positions. Dan Carter, arguably the best number 10 to ever play the game. And then what Aaron Smith did or started to do or brought in that different mold of how a 9 is supposed to play the game with regard to those support lines that he used to run down the middle of the field. I'm pretty sure he was the first one to start doing that. His service off the deck, that attention to detail off the deck, like that service, beautiful, man. And then just quickly touching on Dan Carter again, that left boot from the heavens, one of the best attacking-wise and kicking the ball, just the complete package. Defensively strong, attacking-wise really good, kicking the ball just on a string all the time. One of the best, the GOAT. Then my centers. This was tough as well, but I've gone with the combo again of Ma'a Nonu and Conrad Smith. Ma'a Nonu, just how, and more importantly for me with this was how his game evolved this year, this 2015 year. He was always known for that, trucking the ball up, running over the top of you, got the little jink side step, but then physically being his dominant part of his game. But this year I felt like he brought in his distribution, his offload, the passing game, the little kicking game as well, and then partnered so well with Conrad Smith defensively. And I don't think he gets enough raps in that regard. The way he controlled the defensive side for that team was just unreal. He's shooting out of the line, knowing when to do that, when to hang back, cutting plays, the opposition's plays off. Look, Jesse Creel really come on leaps and bounds, and you can almost pick him just because Jesse Creel is, I feel like, got a better attacking game to it. But then I bring in that little partnership that Ma'a Nonu and Conrad Smith at, and it's hard. It's really hard to look past. And then I've gone my back three of Julian Savia, Cheslin Colby, and Ben Smith. Julian Savia, one of the most devastating wingers with ball in hand. Lomu-esque, running over the top of players, can run around you, can sidestep you, can goose you, can run over the top of you. And in that 2015, I think he was one of the top try scorers, pretty sure. But then on the other side, Cheslin Colby, man, exactly the same. They were half the size, so Julian Savia would be this big, Cheslin Colby would be here, but Colby can also sidestep you, run around you, goose you, and bump you, run over the top of you. His power to weight ratio is through the roof, but his try scoring ability, second to none. That little sidestep, get out of here. And then Ben Smith, very Christian Cullen-esque, very, very good, man. His ability to knowing when to attack, knowing when to inject himself into that back line, knowing when to kick, knowing where to be, his awareness of where he thinks the ball's going to be, and then he pops up there as well, just out of this world. And that's my, man, huge side, strong side. Again, there can be massive arguments to be made for both sides or for either opposition, for either position as well. Let me know what you guys think. Where have I gone wrong? What would your bench be out of these two squads? Let me know in the comments. We did it. It's a pretty strong side. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.